It's the holiday time when you're going to get together with family and friends. You're going to be around a lot of people, and guess what? It's also cold and flu season. So to help me get ready to be around all these people is to make a big batch of elderberry syrup. And so I wanted to share with you today how I make elderberry syrup. Now, elderberries are a wonderful thing to have because they boost your immune system. They have antiviral agents that kill off viruses. They help lessen the effects and longevity of colds and flu, can reduce fever, and fight inflammation. So elderberries are great, and you should have those in your pantry. Ginger also helps fight off colds and flu. Cloves helps improve your respiratory system. And then cinnamon is also a good thing to have because it is antiviral and builds the immune system. And of course, we all know the wonderful benefits of raw honey. Now here's my elderberries. They're from Frontier Co-op. These are dried, organic. They're little tiny berries, really kind of hard. You can use fresh berries. You will need to use a larger amount if you're going to use fresh berries, but I like these dried. They stay in the pantry a long time. I'm going to be using a couple of cinnamon sticks. Raw local honey is the best. Then I've got ground ginger and ground cloves. So I'm going to be making a 1 quart for myself and then 1 quart for my son and his family. You're going to need a big pot and then some strainers. And I have 2 because I will strain this syrup twice. So if you go on Amazon and look up Frontier Co-op elderberries, dried elderberries, you can find these in 1 pound bags. Pretty good price because these do go a long way. So the first step is to, in my pot, and I am doubling this recipe that I will leave in the description box below. If you double this recipe, it will make 1 quart of elderberry syrup. So I need 2 cups of dried elderberries. And I'm just pouring these in a large pot. I'm going to be adding in 2 whole sticks of cinnamon. And I always keep these in the pantry. Then I'm going to be adding 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. And ginger is so good for you. You could use fresh ginger grated up, but I do have the ground ginger on hand, so I'm going to use that. And then ground cloves or whole cloves. I love the smell of cloves. It is like my favorite spice smell. So just put all of this in a pot, and you do not add the honey yet. You don't want to cook the honey because that kills off a lot of the good properties in it. So just the dried elderberries and the spices. And for this recipe, I'm going to be adding in 8 cups of water. And I'm just going to pour this in the pot and then get the pot over to the stove and bring this to a boil. Okay, we've got it on the stove. I've stirred it well to mix all those spices together. And I'm going to bring this to a boil. And then once it reaches a boil, I'm going to set my temperature on about a medium low and just keep it on a very low simmer for 45 minutes. And then after it has cooked for 45 minutes at a low simmer, it should have reduced down to about half the amount that you had in the pot. Those dried elderberries are going to fill up with juice, and you're going to cook it down to make your syrup. So I just left this on the stove, set it kind of on medium low once I got it to a boil, and then I set my timer. Okay, now you can see how much it has really cooked down. It's about half what it was, and the elderberries are nice and plump. I'm going to give it a good stir, and then I need to cut off the heat, take it off the stove, and let it completely cool before adding the honey. Okay, now once it is completely cooled, and it took about an hour and a half for it to completely cool, I've got my strainer over a big pot, and I'm just going to pour off about half of the mixture into the strainer, and then you're just wanting to squeeze out of those berries the juice. So I want to take my spoon and just kind of push down on the berries to get as much of that juice out as I can. And you can see there's some already down in the bottom. See how it's kind of gathering in the spoon? There is a lot of juice in those berries. So you want to have a really good strainer and really use some pressure to press out the juice. You do not want the berries in your syrup. So I'm going to get another spoon that doesn't have any holes in it and just really give it a good push. Now I'm going to save these berries and give those to the chickens. They will be a big benefit to them as well and help their immune system, and they can certainly eat these berries and they'll be fine. But that's basically it. It's really a very easy process. Anybody can do it. So go online and go ahead and order you some elderberries. Get this going before the holidays so that you can try to stay well. I know last year after Christmas I really got sick. I was sick for over a month with the virus. And this year I thought that's not going to happen to me again. You know, you get around all different people in different places and you just pick up things. So I'm going to really work hard to boost my immune system in many ways, and this is one of the ways. So you can see I'm just going to keep pressing and pressing until I can't really get any more juice out. Now these 8 cups of liquid have reduced down to 4 cups. And then I'm going to pour this in a quart jar. If you wanted to follow the recipe that I have included, that will make a 1 pint jar of the elderberry syrup. So that's basically it. And you see I have the honey over on the side. You wait until your syrup is completely cooled before you add the honey. And always make sure you use raw local honey. It is so much better for you. Okay, I have strained it and gotten all the berries out. Now I'm going to add the honey, and I'm just going to stir that until it is completely dissolved. Now I'm adding about 1 cup of the raw honey, but you could go as low as half a cup or a cup. It's just up to you and what your family prefers. If you like a sweet syrup, then use 1 cup. If you want to cut back on some of the honey, you can use a half a cup. The honey is really good for you. It's really good for a sore throat. So I'm just going to mix this in. And this, I'm going to strain one more time. I have an even finer strainer, and I'm just going to run it through this into the quart jar for one more strain, just to make sure I catch any berries that may have slipped through. Isn't that a beautiful color? That deep, rich purple color. And it filled up a quart jar. And that is it. That is how you make elderberry syrup. So I hope you'll get you some berries, and I hope you'll make this. Now I will take 1 tablespoonful a day as a boost to my immune system. And I'm going to give everybody in the family 1 tablespoon a day to help us get through the holidays and the winter when the flu season is going full on. So this will keep in the refrigerator. Put a lid on it and you can keep it for up to 3 months in the refrigerator. But it is very tasty. We don't mind taking it, and I probably will certainly use this up before 3 months. I always like to put the date on it so that I can remember when I did make it, and then we'll just pop it in the fridge. And I've got a quart jar to take over to my son for his family. So if you have any questions, just leave those in the comments below. I really plan on getting an elderberry bush this spring and trying to grow my own. But right now you can get these berries online or at health food stores, and you can make your own. So I'm going to go ahead and take my 1 tablespoonful today and get started. It is really delicious. And when I was reading the package of elderberries, I came across something wonderful. To prepare this as a tea, pour 8 ounces of boiling water over 1 teaspoon of the elderberries and then let it steep in a cup, and you can drink elderberry tea. I did not know you could do that, so I'm very excited. I'm going to be doing this as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a comment, a like, and a subscribe. And hope everyone has a very safe and healthy holiday season. Have a very blessed day, friends.